Okay, so the Samuel and Bryant study is 1984. They're cognitive psychologists, and what they're looking at is challenging not Piaget's theory but Piaget's methodology, and suggesting that his procedure of asking kids the same question twice would cause demand characteristics, because kids would naturally assume that if an adult was asking them the same question twice, then they must have got the first answer wrong, so they change their answer. So what they're looking to prove here is that children under the age of 7 can conserve, so they can get the Play-Doh task, the number task, the liquid task, they can get it right. So it's Samuel and Bryant study. The participants, it's in Devon in the UK. They have 252 boys and girls, and from a school in Devon, aged between the ages of 5 and 8.5. The participants were split into 4 groups of 63 based on age. So, for example, 5 years, 3 months, 6 years, 3 months, 7 years, 3 months, and 8 years, 3 months. They were then divided again into 3, so they had 21 in each of the condition. So the conditions, the IV, the things that change, the manipulating of Piaget's methodology. Now, it's a lab experiment with a quasi-variable naturally occurring of the ages of the children. It wasn't manipulated, they were just placed into groups. Now, it uses all of our design techniques, so we have 3 designs. We've got match pairs. The students were matched firstly on age. However, it was also independent measures because they were used the children were used once in one condition, so the condition of being asked the same question again, the original Piaget, one question, or the fixed array. But it was also repeated measures as each child completed all 4 of the conservation tasks, so the number, the Play-Doh, and the volume, the liquid task. So the independent variables, the bits that change, is your quasi the age variable, the type of question asked, so the standard, one question and fixed array, and the type of task given, so mass, number and volume. The dependent variable is quantitative data, and it's the mean number of errors made on the conservation task, so how many questions they get right, how many they get wrong. So an example of the standard Piaget one is the child asked the question, does this glass have more water? Does this glass have more or less water? The child answers. They then watch the transformation, the glass being poured from a short one into a long one. And then they're asked exactly the same question again. Does this glass have more water? Does this glass have more water? Or do they have the same amount? And again, the child answers. Now, the second condition is the child sees the transformation in front of them. The child shown 2 glasses of water with the same amount of water in each, and they're the same shaped glasses. Liquid from one glass is poured into a different shaped glass, and at this point the child is asked the question, does this glass have more or less water? So you can see there's only one question after the transformation. The fixed array task is the child sees transformed object. So the child is shown 2 glasses of water with the same amount of water in each glass, but the different shaped glasses. So the transformation has already happened. They don't see that happening. And then they're asked, does this glass have more water, or does this glass have more water, or do they both have the same? And the child's quantitative answer is then recorded for the purpose of the experiment. Now, the child is tested individually in one of the conditions, and the child is tested on each of the conservation tasks in a counterbalanced order. Now, that's similar to the Baron-Cohen study, where they change the order of the tasks for each child to reduce order effects. So the same material was used for each child. That was another control, and they were all asked the same question, just in different orders. So the results, children found the one question task easier, they made less errors, and this was true for all types of materials, so the mass, the volume and the number. Older children performed better than younger children, and the children across the board made fewer errors on the number task compared to the other 2 tasks, suggesting that the number task was easier than the volume and the mass task. So the conclusion that Samuel and Bryant make in 1984 down in Devon with their 252 participants is that by altering how the question was asked in the conservation task, so the conservation is a transformation task, Samuel and Bryant showed that children younger than 7 can conserve. So this contradicts Piaget's sort of rough ages that he put on his 4 stages of cognitive development. So what they found was that, yes, Piaget, you're right on the cognitive stages. However, because of your procedure, that it was slightly flawed, resulting in demand characteristics, we can tell you that with that procedure change, asking only one question, children do have that cognitive ability earlier than was originally suggested. And that's the end of Samuel and Bryant.